All praise to the Most High and nobody else. Peace and love to everybody. So many of you are asking, not many, it's not a lot of you asking, just a couple of you asking, because of course a lot of folks already seen the video. But for the ones who have not seen any videos, that tells you, and this is why you need more than, you have to have multiple search engines on your computer, and you might want to download them that way. Try doing it where you don't get a lot of cookies or viruses. That's not going to be easy, but there's a way around it. So let me get straight to the point, okay? This reads, ABO blood type, fifth heaven Anunnaki set up the Sabbath to the seventh day, to be the seventh day. The Anunnaki are the demons that are the foreigners who created the Nephilim. These are the same ones that the Creator was calling rebels. Okay, the Anunnaki is part of a freaking council. Okay, dark side, and you had the light side. Obviously, the dark side is the devil side, and that's what Anunnaki is down with, along with all of these Pleiadians and a whole 9 yards, Dracos, and so forth. And this is all about y'all serving all these devils by doing the Saturday or seventh day for a so-called Sabbath. This is the day he told y'all to rest to count his gold. This is the day the devil made y'all count his gold. He enslaved y'all to try to save this planet Nibiru from being fire and brimstone. Okay, so you can sit up there and play these games all you want. You can act like I didn't show this before in the past. And there's 2 people who aren't subscribed from the channel because you are butthurt, because I proved just from the stuff I was talking about that there's no way you're going to get it right. And now I'm about to show a video. And it's YouTube, anytime you take my channel down, just know I'm going to come back harder. And I have plenty of channels. But I'm not talking trash, just talking truth. This is not a threat, it's a promise. Now, do me a favor, don't interrupt this video. People need to know the facts. The game is up. The time is up. So you might as well give it up. Alright? So we're not going to have any music in the video this time. He's going to prove that they set up, the Anunnaki demons set up the Sabbath for Saturday. And they also did a Sunday and so forth. All these religions y'all doing is devil worship. You are not to be religious. You are to be awoken, a truth seeker. Okay, one who wants nothing but the truth and no lies, and give me the proof and receipts to prove that it lines up with his right. And if they get caught in a lie, because history says that it lied, then that means some things in that book ain't right. Y'all got to start getting down to the root of the problems, and that's the main thing. But the main root of the problem is, quite frankly, people will not do no research. And that's the biggest problem we have today. So y'all might want to hop to it and start playing these little games without doing research. Now, let me go ahead and play this.
Gonna make a video. First, real quick, I'm gonna take my Arjuna. It's a nice bark of a tree in India that helps you with your heart disease. It will get rid of plaque and cholesterol.
Something I didn't know about. I don't need it, but
lovely. I'm going to cover this from one of the documentaries that I saw on food and what you should and shouldn't eat. This is a quote from Caldwell B. Esselstyn. It says, what are the foods that every time they pass your lips, they do damage your body? They are
pork.
Any type of oil. That's any type of oil that passes your lips. Oil is for topical only, people. And whenever you heat it at high temperatures, which you learn from the Anunnaki, because of fire, you putrefy it, and when it goes into your body, it really wreaks havoc. So oil is a huge problem.
I didn't know that.
Even olive oil. Olive oil is for anointing. Hello? Anointing. All oils are for...
No. No. That's a hijack. He don't know no better. Anointing is actually putting a spell on you. When they put oil on your head, your pastor is putting a spell on you. If your camp put oil on your head, your camp is putting a spell on you. It's witchcraft. He just doesn't know. Now you see why I say I don't show everybody's video. But I'm waiting for him to get to the problem, which is what I want y'all to see, so I can cut it off after that. Due to the fact, I already got the feeling he's going to say some more pagan shit and I have to correct the shit, which I did not want to have to do.
For anointing. They're topical. It says any type of oil, olive, corn, soy, sapphire, sunflower, coconut, palm.
Okay, let's get past that. Listen. Plants are made for healing, not for your forehead. And oil comes from plants. Stop the witchcraft. Let's see if you found
Cells.
this to it.
To make nitrous oxide. This is what we're suffering from with food choices. Now, I'm going to prove to you some things in the Lost Book of Eden. Now, what I could do is I could go all the way to the beginning of this book, and I could read to you, because it's 14 different chapters. And what I could do is I could read for you all of the things here in the synopsis. Like, for example, here's the first synopsis. This is the first tablet. It says, the lamentation over the desolation of Sumer. Now, this is on their planet. They're calling this place Sumer. And, again, there is no proof that Nibiru is anything other than Jupiter. That's the one thing that we've been told over and over and over and over. And a lot of this information, and I scoured through those Assyrian dictionaries in Chicago Institute to try to find out anywhere where it said Saturn or Mercury. And, you know, it's just not there. It's one planet, people. It's one planet. That's the planet that they're from. It's all right here. It's one planet. It's not three. So they're not from Saturn, Mercury. They're from the bottom one, right below, right above the sun, okay, on the fourth heaven. Then below that you have Mars, you have Venus, and they have very specific names here. And then you have the footstool, which is the Earth.
So he should break it down better than that. So I'll just make it simple for you. You have the white Anunnaki, you have the black Anunnaki, and then you have the Anunnaki red-eyed demons with the afro, all the bad. And don't forget the Draco race, Reptilian race, the Vampton race, Warptone race, which is Lycans, werewolves, they do exist. And many other alphas, omegas, and the whole 9 yards, they're all doubles. I've proven this already. Too many times. And I'm so glad many of you have seen these videos, because I know for a fact that the videos that I'm mentioning right now, it was on the main page, and that kind of sucks. So that pisses me off, because damn, man, they really just, all my hard work, all the hard work. Okay, you know what, let's play this, because let me get my mind off of that. Let's just focus on this.
And technically speaking, I'm not even sure that Mars and Venus are not under the Earth, to be honest with you. So, but we can observe them between the Earth and the Sun and the Moon. And that's what's causing the eclipses, not what they're lying to you about at school. So, just to kind of go over a couple of these, how the gods fled their cities as the nuclear cloud spread. So, gods fleeing their cities. What does that tell you? Are they really gods? It says the debate in the council of the gods, the fateful decision to unleash weapons of terror, the origin of the gods, and the awesome weapons of Nibiru.
The girl is also just not a planet, it's also a ship. And I told y'all that. It's a planet-like farm spaceship. Look, that is fiery fire, and stuff to come from it. I've been explaining this. I even showed y'all pictures. You can see the thing is in the form of a cross. That's right, a cross. That's why the cross is pagan. The cross symbols the devil's ship, for some planet of the crossing. Maybe I might want to get the hints from giving you. All right, but yeah, man, freaking all them devils. They slick. They slickety slick. So let's keep going. I want to get to that part he's supposed to get to.
Nibiru's North and South Wars, unification, and dynastic.
And the Creator destroyed their planet. Why? Because they was they tried to fight the Creator. This is after the Creator had them go destroy the demon female who he made, who was actually something great and wonderful at one point, but then she also turned on the Creator. So therefore, the Creator had these other angels who were good at one point called Anunnaki, who were now demons, who destroyed her, and then they turned to the Most High, and the Most High gave them the business. And that's why they came to Earth. They were knocked down to Earth because they could not survive on the planet, and some are trapped in planets, and some are trapped inside the Earth. There are some that's running free, going to and fro. The Bible's telling you the truth. It just gives the Bible gives you, it skims over shit real quick, and then they put a bunch of lies in there, and they put some truth in there, but they skim over real fast, put some lies in there. Then they tell you the truth a little bit, tell it to you backwards, and then skim over real quick, right? And then tell some lies in there. And that's the problem with the King James Version Bible.
Rules. And by the way, these dynastic rules are probably the big stink between Enki and Enlil over which one of them is the boss when they're here. And this is what caused all the fighting.
These are, and hold on, those are the two fallen ones that wanted to rule the earth after they agreed to come down. And remember, the Creator destroyed their planet, and they fled and came here. Now watch what these two do. And many of you asked is Mr. E, he missed the guy's name, who's the head snake king. Reptilian snake king, shapeshifting Draco race. Albino Draco too, at that. But anyways, some of y'all say, oh, Enki must be it. No, bro, I keep telling that's the devil. And I was right, oh sorry, I booked that name. Mr. E is the devil. I said I'm sorry to the Creator because I shouldn't have said his name. Mr. E is the devil, and so was his buddy, Mr. A, whatever, he's the devil. He mentioned it already. And there's another guy coming with him called Mr. Death. Okay, he got another name. He's coming with him. Okay? And that's your Trinity. 3 fucking head devils. Okay? And funny thing is on both sides. The Palladian side, when they're and all their buddies they got backing them up. And then you got the Draco side and all their buddies they got backing them up. Okay? Anunnaki, pretty much as far as I'm concerned, fighting against Anunnaki demons. All the same demons fighting against each other. Just like you got the Democratic Party, Republican Party. Where the hell you think they got it from? You should not vote. Matter of fact, some of y'all should have watched my lesson on my live. If you haven't, you need to go to my live because you missed a couple of important things. And that's on you because I told y'all to go to my live. Y'all missing important stuff. You're supposed to be hungry for knowledge, not lackluster on knowledge.
All the infighting because of their dynastic rules. Nibiru place in the solar system. So right there it should tell you, right in that place right there, it should tell you where their place in the solar system is. And tell you that the Queen got coordinated on 5 steps. That's the 5th heaven. People look at all the stars that you see all over the place. I mean, we just had 4th of July and, people are putting flags in my yard with all these 5-pointed stars on them. Like the stars that are mentioned in the star of your Chiyun and your, a Rephaim, which is a raper, which are giant rapers. Okay, raper and pillagers. So there you go. I mean, we could go on and on and on and on through just the synopsis, and you can get a really good picture of what's going on. But you know what? I'm just going to skip to the good stuff. So in the 3rd tablet, here's our synopsis. Alalu, which is Enki's father-in-law, and the whole reason that they had a fight between him and Anu was, the right of succession. Alalu beams the news to Nibiru reclaims his kingship. Anu, astounded, puts the issue before the royal council. Enlil, Anu's foremost son, suggests on-site verification. Ea, which is Enki, Anu's firstborn son-in-law of Alalu, is chosen instead. Ea ingeniously equips the celestial boat for the journey. Of course, he wrote this book, so he is the genius in his story, right? It says the spaceship piloted by Anzu carries 50 heroes. So when we say heroes, these are Anunnaki, these are the Agigi, okay? It says overcoming perils, the Nibiruns thrill by Earth's sight, guided by Alalu. They splash down and wade ashore. Eridu, home away from home, is established in 7 days. We're going to read about that 7-day story. Mm-hmm. Extraction of gold from the waters begins. Through the quantity is minuscule. Nibiru demands delivery.
So these Anunnaki demons decided to enslave you, make you dig for gold and water, and it wasn't just any type of gold. It was gold that was hard to find, gold minerals, so they could spread it around the planet to protect their planet from being completely destroyed because the Creator was going to make sure it was going to happen. And it took them 7 days. 7 days, y'all. Do you not see the resemblance? Or do you not realize the King James Version Bible, even in the Genesis story of the New Testament part, the New Testament has a Genesis story too. And even in Genesis, they hijack.
Abgal, a pilot chooses.
See, that's how I know the devil. I didn't push the button. See, that's how I know the devil want me to shut up because he's mad. So, it has a resemblance, don't it? Isn't that funny? Why would the Creator take 7 days? The Creator can do things just by thought. It would happen instantaneously. Let's stop playing games. Just being real. Let's stop playing games. The Creator doesn't need us. Creator's a spirit. Let's stop playing games. The Creator's not man or woman that the Creator would have to repent. Please, let's stop playing games. The Creator said the heavens are the heavens are the heavens are the heavens are the heavens could not hold him nor maintain the Creator. Can we please stop playing games? The Creator said, why would he take a house that he built, which is so-called space and all these levels of what you want to call heavens and what not have you and so forth and everything else and the whole 9 yards and in your body and so forth? No, bro, don't work like that. Now, we, his children, yeah. Okay, we are a portion of we his children. Don't mean that we have, don't mean we top dogging. So stop it. We just 1.5 is what you weigh, buddy. That's the spirit. Your spirit weighs 1.5 ounces. That ain't shit. So humble yourself. Realize, you're like, come on. Double mate, 7 days, huh? Come on, y'all gotta wake up. Why don't you be a free thinker? If it don't make sense, the history don't add up, and the books is telling you something different when you get the real stories, dude, you was lied to. Let's keep going so you can see how much you was lied to. And another thing I want to add, this so-called presidential thing where they have these two guys go against each other and they do this voting thing, that's all part of their heritage, bro. They had the same setup when the Anunnaki demons were in charge. Real talk, look it up. I just never exposed that to y'all, but I've been knew about that. Why I didn't expose to y'all? Because I had more important things that trumped it, so I had to freaking show y'all the more important stuff. And that got put in the back burner, and I unfortunately never got to it. Okay? To be honest with you. Alright? And now, of course, I showed the video on my live. Y'all should have watched it. You go watch it. Where clearly every inauguration is a ceremony for the devil to enter the person's body. You think I'm playing? Go watch the video. This is system they had set up when the Anunnaki demons were on the earth in charge. When the devil was here in the flesh on charge, and all his buddies and minions running around, bossing us around. And yes, our ancestors used to slay the dragon, but at one point they was, man, they're so mad just thinking about that. Boy, don't even get me started. They were just serving dragons, man. And that's why we fail, real talk. That don't make no fucking sense. It is what it is, y'all. Hold on, let's keep going.
Alalu's spaceship for the trip. Forbidden nuclear weapons are discovered in the spaceship. Ea and Abgal remove the weapons of terror and hide them. Now, let's read what this one particular thing teaches. It says, they circled the moon by the vanquishing of Nibiru, in the celestial battle. It prostrate and scared was lying. Having the chariot thus slowed down toward the seventh planet, talking about the earth, Anzu, the chariot directed once, twice the earth's globe. He made the chariot to circle even closer to the firm land. He lowered it. Now, clearly, they would have seen a flat earth, but, Sitchin has got, to follow NASA's blueprint of heaven. So it says, snow-hued was 2/3 of the planet, dark-hued was its middle. They could see the oceans, they could see the firm lands, the signal beacon of Alalu they were searching. Where an ocean touched dry land, where 4 rivers were swallowed by marshes. So now, there's your 4 rivers. Okay, Alalu's signal was beacon too heavy and large the chariot is for the marshes. Anzu was declaring the earth's pulling net too powerful for one dry land to descend it is. Anzu to E announced, splash down in the ocean's waters. E and Anzu shouted around.
That's where your tsunami's going to come from, because that is going to splash down again, because Nibiru is a ship. I keep telling you that. Yo, the tallest mountains are not where you think it is. They're in the ocean. So when he splashed down the ocean and sit on the tallest mountain, which is in the ocean, we will have tsunamis. Their ship coming in, and with all the firemen and stuff from whole 9 yards, is the problem. And yes, it is gonna be scary because they will be taking you day and night. This is yo. I've been exposing this for a long time, and it's so sad. A lot of folks want to sit there, think I was obsessed with teaching this sort of thing. No, I'm giving you the cold hard facts. You want to wake up? Wake all the way up.
On the planet, Anzu made one more circuit, and the chariot, with much care, towards the ocean edge, he lowered. The chariot's lungs he filled with air into the waters down it splashed into the depth. It was not sinking. From the speaker, a voice was heard. To earth be welcome, Alalu was saying. By his beamed words, the direction of the whereabouts was determined toward the place. Anzu and the chariot directed floated as a boat. It was upon the waters moving. Soon the wide-ranging ocean narrowed, dry land on both sides as Guardian appeared. Okay, so let's see, I'm just going to skip a little bit. It says, toward the place of Alalu was the chariot moving, floating like a boat upon the waters. Ahead, dry, it was covered with flooding marshes, ocean. So we go further down, it says, at the edge of the marshes, a sign there was to behold, gleaming in the sun rays, was a chariot from Nibiru. Alalu's celestial boat it was. The heroes there paces quickened. Toward Alalu's chariot they hurried. Impotent, impatient, Iad donned his fish suit. So he's got a fish suit for waters, right? Within his chest, his heart was like a drum beating. Into the marsh he jumped, toward its edge, hurried steps he directed. High were the marshes, flooding deeper was the bottom than he had expected. He changed his gait to swimming, and bold strokes forward he advanced. As dry land he was approaching. Green meadows he could see. Then his feet touched the firm ground. He stood up, and by walking he continued. And he could see Alalu standing in with his hands with the vigor waving, coming out of the waters ashore, stepped onto the dark-hued earth, which is going to be, says the middle, is dark hued, but we know Africa is the dark continent, right? He was standing. Alalu toward him came running by his son by marriage.
At this time, the earth was Pangea, so the whole earth was a lot of part. Africa stretched all the way from over from America all the way to where it's at now. So when he's talking, that's a very vague statement what he's saying. Okay, and of course they're never gonna go too deep into it, but I just gave you the whole kick and poodle. Right in one bunch, just that quick. You can look this up. Please do, because you need to, like I said, don't listen to everything. Like I said, I want anybody to research everything I show you and tell you. I don't care if I prove it to you. Even now when I finish proving this to you, please research it. It's not enough for me to show you. You must see it for yourself.
Powerfully and bright. Welcome to a different planet, Alalu said to Ea. Now, this is the account of how Eridu on earth was established, how the count of 7 days began. In silence did Alalu and Ea embrace. With tears of joy, their eyes were filled. Before him, Ea bowed his head in respect for his father. By marriage, he was showing. In the marshes, the heroes were advancing. More donned fish suits, more toward the dry land were rushing. And it's interesting, those fish suits probably look a lot like the fish suits that are in the movie Aquaman. Think about that. Keep the chariot afloat, Anzu was commanding. In the waters anchored, the mud ahead avoiding. Ashore stepped the heroes. Before Alalu they were bowing. Ashore came Anzu, the last, the chariot to depart. Before Alalu he bowed, and him Alalu in welcome locked arms. To all who had arrived, Alalu's words of welcome spoke. To all who were assembled, Ea's words of command spoke. Here on the earth I am commander, he was saying. So he let his, Anunnaki heroes know that he was the boss. On a life or death mission we have come. In our hands is Nibiru's fate. See, their whole planet is breaking apart because of their wickedness, just like ours is. Kind of the same deal. He looked about for a place for encampment. He was searching. Head up soil, mounds fashioned there.
Oh, wow. So get this, y'all. He was running from his judgment because his planet was doing what our planet is doing. And he knew that Creator was going to destroy it because he wasn't listening. Because he knows the Creator's a spirit, but he don't want you to know that. So he couldn't fight the Most High. So he ran to hide away from the Creator and then established himself on our place. And then, of course, began a hostile takeover. Just like it's happening now. And this, listen, I want to say more because I know I got new people. I'm going to say less. But for those who know, who've been watching for a while, you already know what I want to say.
Command and encampment to set up. To a place not far he was pointing. A reed's hut abode by Alalu erected. To Anzu then the words he directed. To Nibiru, words by beaming delivered. Okay, so now they're close enough that they can get words from Nibiru on the radio. So it says, to the king, my father Anu, successful arrival announced. Soon the hue of the skies was changing. From the brightness to the reddish it was turning. A sight never seen before their eyes was unfolding. The sun was a red ball. On the horizon it was disappearing. So they're learning about Earth's, cycles. fear seized the heroes of a great calamity, afraid they were. Alalu with laughter, words of comfort he was saying, a setting of the sun it is. The ending of one day on earth is its marking. For a quick rest, lie down. A night on earth is beyond imagining short. So it's really short for them. Before you expect the sun will an appearance make on earth, it will be morning. Before expecting darkness, the heavens from the earth is separated. Lightnings and darkness pierce, and rains and thunders follow. By winds were the waters blown. Storms of an alien god they were. You see, and the one that they fought with and killed was Tiamat, and they also fought with the primordial sun, which was Absu. This is in another story, but it's also in this book. In the chariot, the heroes hunkered down. In the chariot, the heroes huddled. Joyful and backslapping. Now, I'll tell you this, I've been backslapped all my life. And every time I hear that, it makes me think of them. Now, that I know that they're backslappers, that's one of their customs. And it was evening and it was morning, their first day on earth it was.
Can you pat somebody on the back?
So this is the first day on earth it was. By daybreak, Yah, the ongoings considered, to the separate waters from waters he was giving. Inger he made of the sweet waters, the master drinking waters to provide. To Snake Pond with Alalu he went, its sweet waters to consider. Evil serpents in the pond were swarming. So did Inger to
I need to make sure I say this before it's too late. Just know all the names in here are pagan. They're all names of devils. Anytime the devil makes sure you get the true story, he gonna put his name any single place in that book. So every single name you hearing is a devil's name. It's a different devil. Devil means enemies, plural, of the creator. Okay? Please understand the creator's spirit. Why would you name for a spirit? Think about it.
Ea say, the marshlands Ea then contemplated, and the abundance of rainwaters he weighed. In Biblilu, he placed in charge of the marshlands to mark out the thicket of the reed.
Okay, so this is going to be part 1. Once y'all come back for part 2. Okay? It's getting down to a peace and love.